For more than half of my life, I've dreamed of Ireland. Drawn to it in a way I can't explain. At first it was the obvious, the scenic beauty, the music, the Guinness. Then over time, it became so much more. The vibe, the people, the history, and that's what hooked me. Also, clearly, I am not actually an Irish.
Too sexy pose.
But on April 1st, 2026, the dream becomes a reality as I close up shop in the Smith Hole and take off on the adventure of my lifetime. Over the course of a year, I'll hike that beautiful island and tell its story, town by town. Each town I stop in, I'll conduct an interview in a pub with people that can tell the story of that particular town while discovering all the things. All the things you're supposed to do in Ireland, then all the things you don't know, like where the locals go. Basically, I'm going to try to make friends with an entire country. And if that goal doesn't sound lofty enough, I'm also going to attempt to learn the Irish language. If you'd like to support the project, basic Patreon support is only $3 a month. And if you're Irish and want to help me network and act as a liaison, hit me up. This is a huge bucket list goal, and I need all the help I can get. The Smitty Learns Irish Pubcast begins April 2026, and I can't wait. Sláinte. Let's do a reaction. A reaction to new rock and or metal, which is going to require getting the 30-second timer out. The 30-second timer out is strictly for the Just the Tip game, where I hit shuffle on a new rock and metal playlist and just give it 30 seconds to see if I want to give it the time of day for a reaction or if I'm going to hate it for the entirety of its existence, which means I don't want to listen to it. So, going with a new rock and metal 24 Rockin' It public playlist. I'll try to remember to put a link to it in the description if you want to check that playlist out. But if you have a playlist featuring current rock, metal, punk, rock and roll, man, a playlist that keeps it current and removes songs when they're not current anymore and keeps it updated and fresh, send it my way, and I could use it for a Just the Tip game. 30 seconds on the timer.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
Let's go to space and let's roll. Let's hit shuffle, shall we? Reaction roulette. What is this? I don't want to look. Sounds like somebody trying to be Metallica. I don't know why that was funny. Oh, is this fucking Saxon? Oh my God, you guys. Saxon, I'm going to listen to this song. I told myself I was going to listen to it before I saw who it was. But Saxon, I did a reaction to them previously a couple of years ago, maybe now at this point. And it wasn't very complimentary. And I will say it wasn't very complimentary due to some very sort of narrow-minded thinking on my part. And I'll tell you why. Because when I heard it, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. It sounded like metal that I've heard in bars around northern Michigan in my whole life. It just, there wasn't really anything original about it. But I didn't really look at when it came out. And I think the song that I reacted to came out in like 1980. And that made me think, oh, okay. But this was after the fact. After I was done with the reaction, I said, okay, well, they're part of that genre that started that brand of heavy metal that I've heard my whole life and I don't really care about. So you should have looked at it a little bit differently because I like to look at it from a historical perspective. That being said, those first 30 seconds, I'm like, well, that's okay. It sounded like somebody trying to be Metallica. And then when that vocal came in, it was just this classic heavy metal trope sort of vocal. And I'm like, well, I'm still going to give it the time of day. And just the fact that it was Saxon is fucking hilarious to me. So this will be winner, because I already said I was going to do it. Just to see what the hell happens. It's 5.5 minutes. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's called Hellfire and Damnation. Is there an album attributed to this? out this year, Hellfire and Damnation from 2024. My second ever listen to Saxon. Alrighty then. Let's roll. Just the Tip winner. Honestly, is it 72 seasons from fucking Metallica? It must be said that I am a giant fucking Metallica fan, and take that for what it's will. But it is definitely one of the new Metallica songs from 72 seasons. It might even be 72 seasons. Nope. Is it fucking Chasing Light?
There's no light!
Nope. I don't have all these songs committed to memory yet. Yeah. Yeah. All right, enough of that. I'm just making a comparison. Probably didn't need to do that, but I did. So now back to Hellfire and Damnation.
Child of Satan, Lamb of God, the choice is yours to make. Rule the heavens, your reign in hell. Satanic rites, holy prayers, bring supremacy. Fighting for our souls until the end. The battle rages on through eternity. In the fight for good and evil, which one will succeed? Hell, fire, and damnation, written in the prophecy. Holy fire and salvation, will our souls ever be free? Ever be free? The Antichrist and Nazarene fight the endless war. Angels, demons raging back and forth.
It's definitely sitting better with me now as we get further on into the song. That genre of metal in general, I would say power metal probably, that Dio style vocal, not usually something that I gravitate towards and want to sit with most of the time. If you're doing it well, it's a lot easier to sit with. And I think this is done well. It sounds good. That again, but just that whole delivery of power metal essentially, not usually. I think.
Demonic versus holy script, the never-ending fight. Will the darkness conquer against the light? Armies of the evil, warriors of the good, battle on forever to find the chosen one. Hell,
mad effort on the solo. I got to say, there's one thing that I can't really tolerate when I'm listening to heavy metal, especially heavy metal that I don't like. And I'm not saying I don't like this. What I'm saying is when I'm hearing a solo that doesn't work with a song, something that's just way too flashy, that is not what I want to listen to. I want to listen to cool solos that enhance the song and serve the song. And I think that was done really well. A lot of power metal bands, for me, the solo is just like the worst part of the fucking song. And I'm appreciating what these guys are doing. The rhythm section is cool. It's got a great fucking groove that I'm enjoying. So anyway, that's where I'm at.
Satan's fire, heaven's light, the conflict never ends. Back and forth they battle for our souls. The prophecy written out there for all to read. Some believe but others cannot see. The battle rages on into eternity. The fight for good and evil. Which one will it be? Hell, fire, and damnation, written in the prophecy. Holy fire and salvation, will our souls ever be free? Ever be free? Ever be free?
I gotta say, I didn't hate it. Sometimes that's the best I got, man. The style of music and the content of it. My biggest criticism a lot of times of heavy metal is it just becomes like a caricature of itself, almost like a circus. Maybe it's because I never played Dungeons and Dragons, but just like the whole heavy metal trope as far as content goes, as far as it's just that's not for me, really at all. But I appreciated the song for the most part. Like they were fucking jamming. They were doing it really well. And his voice stopped irritating me. Let's put it that way. That was my other point I wanted to make. If you're still here watching this, is if I was a Saxon fan, it's like people that hate on Metallica or other bands that have changed throughout the years, their styles in different fucking eras of their existence. They don't sound the same. They don't fucking sound the same. Shit. These guys are probably 60 to 70 years old, right? I don't want my favorite bands to sound the same. I want my favorite. So if that was my favorite band and they made that record, I'd be like, man, I don't want you to sound like you did in fucking 1980 or 83 or whatever. I want you to sound like a 2024 version of the band that I loved. And that just, those heavy metal tropes just don't work for me. But good effort. I'm glad it exists so you can make other people happy. And anyway, there you go.